Hey guys, how's it going? Matt from Foul Ball Productions here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you're doing really well. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm flying high on this Expanse release. I tell you what, it makes me feel really good. Really good. This week I got to experience the first 3 episodes of the Expanse, as well as the extraordinarily highly anticipated Cyberpunk 2077. And I got to tell you, there's only one I enjoyed. I'm pretty sure you know which one it is. I'm pretty sure you know it's the one with the crew of the Rossi and the belt and the Earth and Luna. Cyberpunk 2077 sucks. It sucks. You heard it here first. It sucks. It's not a good game. I'm going to get into that.
I'm going to crack that egg all over the internet. Get ready. My wrath.
I'm just kidding. It does suck, though. But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about The Expanse. We're here to talk about the new season of The Expanse, which is excellent. Thanks for joining me on my ongoing coverage of every single episode of The Expanse. It means a lot. I hope you guys love the new episodes as much as I do. Before I get into it, please press like on the video. It means a lot. Really appreciate that when you do that. A, it makes me feel really good, which is, thanks. B, it helps YouTube. The algorithm gods are satiated, and they will send my content onto Olympus, and it'll be judged before the panel. So please do so. It means a lot. Subscribe if you haven't. Lots of new content coming out. Going to try to bang out more episodes of The Expanse, so on and so forth. Jake Diesel in the house. What's up, my man? What is up? How are you, sir? Good to see you. Stuff with the likes of Jake D. Monday, we're doing the Die Hard, talking Die Hard for Christmas. Now, listen, I saw Drunk 3PO doing it. I saw Critical Drinker doing it. I want it known it was my idea. I had it first. I didn't tell everybody, but it was my idea first. I talked about that weeks ago, and Jake agrees. We're talking Die Hard on Monday, which will be fun. Should be a nice crew. I think Vigilante Williamson will be there. Should be fun. And Saturday, talking. Jake can't make it, but I'm talking Expanse with Lord Thoth at 3:00 Pacific, my time. That's my time on this channel. Me and Thoth are talking. And if you do want to see Jake D, go over to his channel on Saturday evening. What time is that, Jake? Sorry, Sunday evening. Howling About Entertainment, a show I'm off and on. Very good show. Very fun panel. Good YouTubers. If you like me, you'll probably like the people on there. Anyway, enough promotion and begging for your attention. Why don't we give you what you came here for? The Expanse, Season 5, Episode 2, The Churn. Oh, by the way, watch party link in the description if you want to join along. If you'd like to watch with me, watch party link in the description. Click it. Yes. 5:15 Central for Howlin' About Entertainment. All right, Jake. Well, hey, buddy, if you can make it, you pop right in, man. Pop right in. I don't want to keep you. I know you got to hang out with the lady. I know you do. Here we are. I am so pleased. And I bumped
the desk. Sorry.
I am so pleased that The Expanse is good. I can't tell you how happy it makes me. Like I was all set and ready for it to not be good. Not that I thought it was going to be good. I just had to brace my very fragile emotions for it because I've been hurt so much, so many times recently with our modern entertainment. So many things I love destroyed. Look at Cyberpunk. It sucks. All those expectations didn't live up to them. It hurts. It sucks, I don't want to say it's the worst thing that could happen to a person, but when you love something and it's ripped from your hands and repurposed for something you didn't want it to be repurposed for, excuse me, it's quite upsetting. And I braced myself for that with this lovely show. And very fortunately, at least for now, outstanding. And Jake agrees. This episode was outstanding. Loved Amos's story. Yes, as did I. As did I. Which I knew a little bit about. Not too much. I mean, he mentions it, in the show. I mean, how great, though. We got my love. Got my love at the helm. Cara G. Kamina Drummer. She's my favorite. She's my favorite. I love that she's got an even bigger role this season. I think that's a terrific development. She's a winner. She is a winner as an actress, a winner as a character. She is a huge, huge part of this show. She's a standout on a show full of standouts. I adore everything she does. I love watching her. I think she's one of the most talented actresses I've seen in a really long time. Like there's so much beneath the surface with her. Her inner life is so powerful. And that is a real gift and something that you have to work hard to achieve. And I really appreciate that she puts it out there because it's there. It's really there. Did you have any negative reactions when you watched the scenes with Alex? No, not at all. You know what? Yes, I did have negative reactions. I was bummed out I'm not going to be able to see him after this season. And I don't want that to come off insensitive. I don't want that to come across like I don't care about sexual misconduct. I do. I think it's legitimate. I mean, I'm not saying I think there are legitimate gripes at times. I don't know what's going on with this particular case. I try not to speculate about it because it's complicated. It's touchy. But no, it didn't bother me. I don't know if it should. I don't know if I should have felt bothered, but I didn't. And I realize I'm sad to see him go. He's really grown on me. He's a character that I appreciate. He's part of the crew, part of the core crew on the Rossi. And yeah, it sucks. Like I said in my video, it sucks more if it happened, and he hurt somebody. That is very sad. That's very unfortunate. But didn't no, I don't know. How'd you feel? Did you guys yeah, Jake, there's a Reddit that's incredibly it's so detailed, all the different allegations and stuff. I haven't read it and I don't plan to. I don't want to. It's depressing. And either way, I wasn't there for any of it, so I don't know. It's all speculation as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. And I just don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. What do you think, John? Did it bother you, buddy? Did it feel weird? You guys find it weird that like Alex is still here? I mean, they still use him. Like his scenes are still there. If it was, I don't know. I'd think like if it was so egregious that they wouldn't really have him in the show as much, but then they have to. I don't know. This is my least favorite topic to talk about with The Expanse. My least favorite topic. Because it is so excellent and it is so wonderful. And the first 3 episodes are so good. I just don't want to dwell on the negative. But it's a very reasonable question, John. 100%. I don't malign the question at all. What do you guys think about Kamina Drummer's reveal that she's a lesbian? Very subtle. Not exactly. Didn't seem shocking to me. But I thought it was interesting. I was talking about it with Draco Argentis yesterday and how like not a big deal it was. How much I appreciated the fact that this show wasn't like, drum roll, she's gay. Like it was just casual, and it wasn't, it was just a part. Like that's what I think this show does excellently amongst everything, is that it does things that are important to a lot of, there's a fruit fly. Things like representation are really interesting, are really important to a lot of people. And I think this show does it probably the best because it doesn't like underline it. It doesn't give themselves a big pat in the back for doing it. It just does it. It just shows people, and then it doesn't wrap it in some sort of political message or point of view that you need to absorb. Well, okay, A Naked Drummer was insanely awesome. That was a wonderful gift to the audience. Very much to myself, because Kamina Drummer, Cara G, is one of my favorite things on this show. I think she's beautiful. I think she's excellent, and I appreciated it. I did. I thought it was wonderful. Thanks, Jake. Don't let me forget that. But you know what I'm getting at, Jake. You know what I'm getting at. And I just think this show does that well. I just think it does diversity right. It does representation right. It just does it. It doesn't make a big deal about it. which is what I think is the goal, right? I don't know. And it doesn't wrap it in modern day politics. And I just thank God for that. Thank God for that. Baltimore in the future is interesting. The way it looks, kind of like Baltimore looks now, is not that advanced. Like that, things have not moved along.
Jake, stop it, you silly guy.
I did pause it. And rewind it. Let's be honest. I did. But no, I liked seeing Baltimore. It's interesting when we go to Earth, because future Earth is a very interesting place. I mean, it's all interesting, but it was like, wow, that is crowded. There are a lot of extras in this sequence. Did a school just get out or something? Why are there so many people on this corner? I like the way they have the flashback with young Amos and whatever happened with the gun or whatever. I'm curious to see where that storyline goes. And I like that we're getting into Amos's past. It's very interesting. They're doing the little like side journeys of the characters in this season thus far really well. It's very interesting to see them kind of all separate on their own journeys, relatively going through their own stuff. And it doesn't feel, what's the word? It doesn't feel like forced or unnecessary. Like sometimes it'll be like, there'll be a long running character on a show and it'll be like, oh, now they get their own episode. And the actress like walks into the scene, like it's my episode. And like the whole episode, like, yeah, it's hers. It's like the whole crew's like in on the moment. It's like, that doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's got to be as seamless as anything else. It just should feel like the rest of the show. It shouldn't feel like, here she comes. She's got her big day. It's like, just tell me a story. I think people will get a little caught up with the making of the thing. And like they put the making of the thing in the show. And that's not really what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make the thing. And we're not supposed to celebrate you while it's going on. We're supposed to enjoy the show, enjoy the story, and we'll celebrate you later because you're really good at it. But alas, we're all human and flawed. We make mistakes. But to err is human, to forgive is divine. I'm dropping out life lessons, guys. Lots going on this stream today. Whole lot. It's nice to see Frankie Faison as Amos's, I don't know, friend. I don't know how to describe that relationship, but I like to see that guy again. He's a actor I know primarily from The Wire. He played, I think, police commissioner. I think he was a police commissioner in The Wire. That's a great show. Talk about nuance and complexity, man. That show is great. That's one of those shows that really makes you you understand how complex and difficult the world is, how there is no easy quick fix. There isn't like one villain, or it's the world's a gray mess, and people do good and bad things. It's a very good show, and he's in it. I actually met him one time at a acting studio in Montclair, New Jersey. He was very nice, very pleasant, very professional. It's good to see him. This show, I think there's a few other. Yeah, there's the guy who plays Fred Johnson was on The Wire. Anyone else? I feel like maybe one other person, not that I can think of. Ew. I see in the corner of my box light up there, it looks like there's a spider. Ew. It's gross. It's like that kind of semi-transparent, white sheet in front of a light, and there's like a little like insect leg in the corner. Yuck. Yucky. And I'm really curious to see what's the whole story with Amos and the whole Timothy thing, and that like one mob boss guy. Like, this is interesting. Like, I didn't read the Churn, which I think is the short story that a lot of this this backstory is built on. So I don't really know, but I am very curious to learn it. I don't know. This show is really like, whenever they peel back a new layer, they go down a new avenue. I'm never like, oh man, go. I'm never disappointed. And if I am, it's fleeting, it's temporary, and I immediately go back to enjoying the show. Like, they get me back. You know, I think like early on, I feel in my reviews, I mentioned it, where it'd be like they would change from like the Rossi or whatever's going on with the proto molecule to like other characters. And I would feel like, oh, fuck, just go back to the Rossi. Go back to what's going on with them. I want to see that. Excuse me. And then like after like 30 seconds with whatever new sequence, whatever new scene, I was immediately in. So it was like, they always get me. I'm never disappointed. Season 4 is a bit of a letdown. This season, though, wow, so happy. We should be saying thank you. We should be congratulating and praising the people who made this. I mean, I guess I am right now, but you know, on social media and stuff like that, I hope that the positivity gets delivered because it's deserved. We're very fortunate to have this. Very fortunate. They could have fucked it up. They could have gotten lazy, you know, or whatever. Who knows? Whatever. There's a million things that could have gone wrong, and didn't. At least not yet. The first 3 episodes are outstanding. I feel lucky to have it. I'm like, thank God. I was watching it the other night, and I was just. It's the first thing I've enjoyed in so long, like that I hadn't already seen or was like, you know, that came out this year for sure. And it was great. It was immersive. It was complex. Felt like The Expanse. I'll be sad to see it go when it does. I do love seeing Amos like throw his weight around. It's always fun, you know? Like that's sort of like, I don't know. That's the best type of Amos, I think. Oh. Someone just yelled out in the hallway. Huh. Well, I don't think they're yelling for me, so nothing to worry about there. Oh, this guy, Jose Zu. That is tough to pronounce. It's an Enye, so Zuyiga. Jose Zuyiga, I think. Anyway, Jose Zuyiga is in this. He's Fred Johnson's new right-hand man, and he was also the DEA who pissed himself in the great movie Con Air. The DEA agent. Oh, nothing makes me sadder than the agent lost his bladder on the airplane. Love Bulls. It's so good, right, Buzz Nacho? This was one of my favorite lines from this whole thing. He says it. I got to rewind it to see that. You are so right, dude. That was one of my favorite lines. You know what your problem is? Tell me. You think that if someone's an underdog, that means they're the good guy. Oh, genius. That is genius. What a great line that is. Thank you so much, Buzz Nacho, for pointing that out. I almost missed it, and I would have if it wasn't for you. Oh my God, that is so insightful and intelligent and aware, very aware of your own thoughts and just the nature of the world. And it was appropriate for the character here. It was appropriate for that guy delivering it to Fred Johnson. You know, I love that everyone in this show has things to learn. You know, no one's a perfect sage. No one's like at the peak with nowhere to develop. Even Avasarala, who like at every turn was, you know, on the right side of history, was making the right play, you know, struggled and had challenges, but eventually came out on top until she tried to run for, you know, whatever it was, president, whatever, last season, and she didn't win. And it was a lot of her own personal flaws came out. They got exacerbated. Like she still had room to learn and grow and develop as a person. You know, this show has a lot of respect for humanity and a lot of respect for individuality and people as a whole. I can't say enough good things about the way they write their characters. I'm just so impressed and inspired by it, you know, because it's it's how it should be done. You know, it's how shows should be done. Now, granted, this is difficult, you know, and writing TV is difficult. I'm not saying that this is, why can't everyone do this? But it would be nice to see it a little more often because it's rare. It's rare for a show to have this much respect for its characters and to see it go out in like all these different directions. What the hell, man? It's a lot of activity going out there in my apartment tonight. Stop it. I'm streaming. I don't know. A lot of activity in my building right now. What'd you guys think of that? The woman from season 3 coming back, the reporter girl. I thought it was pretty interesting. I liked it. I liked how she kind of like had that same energy, but a little more wise, a little more familiar with the way of the world. As when she, and when you've met her the first time, she was just kind of like this young reporter out to get the scoop, and she's gonna get it. And then like the real world came into her face like very fast, and now she's kind of the same person, not quite. But she's learned a little more. She's a little more rough around the edges. But like, is that what I mean, rough around the edges? No, I mean a little more, I guess, a little more tough, a little more slick, a little more worldly is the word I'm trying to use. And she, and like, but she still has that kind of spunk. Like she still has that desire to get the thing, but now she's a little more focused more on the proto molecule, which I like. Less self-serving, more egalitarian, I think. I hope that sentence made sense. Man, hotbed of activity in my apartment building tonight. Oh my God, I love this sequence. I love the sequence of Mars, like the outside of Mars, like the surface, and you have like the tram like whipping by, and then you have all the buildings like built into the mountain on Mars. Ah, love it. Love it. Reminds me of Total Recall, which I loved. One of my favorite movies. And I always love those kinds of like spaceports built on new Terra, on new planets and moons and stuff. Oh, so cool. I've been obsessed with that since I was a little kid. I remember I found this book in the library when I was like, I don't know, 8. No, probably even younger, probably like 6 or 7. And it was like this book, and it had like projected like spaceports on Mars. And I just remember like I took the book home. Like, I mean, obviously I checked it out. I didn't steal it. I'm not a thief. But I took the book home because I was just so interested in the book. Didn't turn out to be that interesting, but just those images were great. Like I was so entranced by them, enthralled by them. Love it. It's so exciting and fun. Yes. The character. I forgot. I don't remember her name. I can't think of her name. I know Lord Thoth would probably know it. He knows the Expanse inside out. He knows it better than I do. Oh man, it's crazy in my neighborhood today. But yeah, I like that. You know, this show is never static. No one's ever static in it. It's like, and if you are, then the universe leaves you behind. You know, like no, it's just everything moves. Everything's got so much humanity and depth. I love it. And here we see what's her name's Bobbie's Goliath power armor. I think I said in the last episode review, but this to me really feels like a Chekhov's gun, which is that literary concept where that if you show a like a gun in Act 1, you need to pay it off by Act 3. And here I think they're showing us a pretty big Chekhov's gun with all these with Bobbie's big arsenal, just a room full of weapons and guns and explosives. I mean, in the context of the fact that we've got an intersolar system wide war. Oh, I am belchy, excuse me. And we got all these weapons. Oh, I'd like to see them utilized. I would like to see a full-on war. Because I tell you what, the sequence of Bobbie on the surface of Ganymede getting mauled by the proto-molecule soldier was good in the show. But I'll tell you what, the book did it better. Because not only was there like the proto-molecule soldier ripping up a few Marines, there was also like giant mechs with like big rocket launchers and shit. And I was like, oh, can we see that, please? Like I geeked out hard on that. And the show didn't do that. I feel fortunate that I saw the show first before I had that image in my head of the book, because I bet if it went the other way, I'd be a little disappointed because it was more of an action sequence and less of like a flashback that she had to piece together. Then there was like big future space tech and big machines and guns and shit, which is like, oh, space porn. Jake D. The Collapse of Mars is fascinating over the past couple seasons, right? Isn't that such an interesting progression? Like, what a clever way to develop the story. Now that, like, there is no need to terraform Mars, now that it's an energy and resource drain, yeah, like, sell the shit, move on, like, abandon Mars, go to where it's green. That's so smart. It's like the fact that like an entire planet's motivations evolve with the story is brilliant. That's so smart. Like, I just give these guys credit for knowing their world so much. I'd love to talk to them. I'd love to like talk with one of the halves of James S.A. Corey. By the way, I think Ty Franek has a podcast now. Him and Amos, him and Wes Chatham, who plays Amos. It's called Ty and That Guy. I haven't watched it. I mean, I only saw the intro, so I don't know if they have any episodes up yet. I hope it's good. I really like Wes Chatham's a good social media follow too, which is, you can't say that about most people in Hollywood. Let's be honest. You could say it about maybe Henry Cavill and The Rock. That's about it. Everyone else is just like, oh, shut up. You're not that important. I digress. I'm trying not to talk about too much political stuff on my channel or what I think about people in a negative way. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it sunshiny. Probably should a little bit, you know. This is a good thing. What happened. I love it. You know what I really thought was interesting was in Fred Johnson's office, he's got all these different space helmets on the wall. That was kind of interesting. That's kind of a cool detail. I wonder what that's about. Like, are those like trophies? You know, thought it was good. Thought that was just a cool detail. Just a good production design detail. You know, something else the Expanse excels at. I really cannot think of a show that operates on this level that's genre like this. I can't think of anything that's this good. Now, like, granted, I haven't gotten into like every single show. I've never seen Battlestar Galactica, which I imagine could be considered blasphemy to a lot of my fans, and I think that that's reasonable because that's a big show and it's supposed to be really good. But I don't know. This show is just so well constructed on so many different levels, and the fact that it exists on this level and its genre and it's the world that they built, and they also execute so many other objective like film pieces, components so well. I mean, like acting and cinematography and production design. The fact they do all these things so excellently is mind-blowing to me. Let's see what happens this year. Let's see what happens. I want to see if this is the year, the next few months of the year of the Expanse. I mean, I know no one's meeting up with anyone. We're not allowed to socialize as people, but keep your ear out. See what like people are saying. Like, I want to know if it caught on yet, because I still feel like this is a relatively unknown show. I feel like this is the biggest push they're making right now. This season launch, like they've got a whole new merch store on the Amazon, which I recommend you checking out because a lot of that shit's cool. I'm definitely going to be buying a Razorback hoodie. No question. It looks so dope. But the social media push, I think they're really making a concerted effort to get people on board with this show. And I want to see if people are going to finally watch. If it's finally going to be the phenomenon I think it should be. Like, I've always been hesitant I would always kind of like that it was a secret. You know, I kind of like that because I felt like if it got out, it would get fucked up. It would get bad. But now that we know it's going to end after next season, and they're writing the next season right now. Shit, man! I hope it gets huge. I would love to see what happens if this becomes a phenomenon. People come talking about it. That would be really cool. Their podcast is pretty good. You get some really cool insight and perspective from the writers, directors, actors, and showrunners' point of view. Is that Ty and That Guy? Didn't that just come out like the other day? I didn't even know. At first, I didn't get that. At first, I was like, Ty and that guy. I was like, that's not very clever. And then I was like, oh, no, yes, it is. I am that guy from, I was like, oh, cool. Oh, they did. Wait a minute. Oh, I'll have to look into this some other time. I don't want to. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I like those fellas. Not supposed to meet up. Guess I'm a rebel. You are rebel. You dangerous man. Yeah. I probably should do more interview research and stuff like that. I've looked at a few of things that the cast and crew have talked about and things like that. I find it very interesting. There's a great cast interview that happened, I guess, after the season 3 got canceled, where like everyone shows up, like all the principal cast show up to like this girl's like, I think it's like a podcast or radio show, like somewhere in the valley here. And I think it was one of the biggest pushes that got the show picked up at Amazon. It was a great interview. And the people involved, they're so warm. They're so positive. They have such a great vibe. Like they just seem very happy to be there. They seem very like grounded, you know, they don't seem pretentious or like sometimes I feel like actors, like successful actors almost have like a character that they perform in real life so as to have like separation from the characters that they perform on stage. Cause it's like, that's not a person. That's not how a person behaves. Like you're way too like laid back and cool. You know, I think it's kind of like that's their separation, but these guys don't seem to do that. I didn't get that impression at all. They seem like what you see is what you get. And Wes Chatham, I think I don't know. They're all they all seem very cool. I'd say Steven Strait kind of has the most actor vibe. He's got glasses on. He looks very pensive, looks very, you know, intellectual, you know, kind of get that vibe from him. But like Cara G looks all different. She looks kind of funky. She wears like cowboy hats and shit. But she's kind of, I don't know. They all have warm energy. I happen to really like them. I'll have to check out that podcast. I'll check out the Ty and That Guy podcast. I'll report back, guys. I'll tell you what I think. Did anyone kind of cringe a little bit at the fact that Alex Kamal has a storyline where like he's either trying to seduce a girl or a girl's trying to seduce him? I cringed a little. I was like, ooh, that's an uncomfortable, unfortunate coincidence. I was like, yeah. Which I thought was even further ironic, as I reported in my video. I know a director that he hit on, and she was just interested in professionally, so she took it as a slight. She's coincidentally a redhead, so a little awkward to watch this. I was like, that's weird. That is a weird, uncomfortable reality. Okay. And I've pointed out in my other reviews, I'm on to you, prop department of The Expanse. I see you repurposing bottles, and I spotted another one. They have a bottle that the wine that they drink in the bar on Mars is this rosé bottle. It's very distinct. I don't know why they pick such distinct bottles, because you can recognize they stand out. But it's this rosé bottle that on the bottom has an imprint of a rose on it. It's very distinct. It's quite a good rosé, to be honest. And it has a little cap on it, little like glass cap that you can kind of replace. And the props department used that for it. Cabernet. And I was like, oh, stop it, you. No, actually, I didn't really notice that. I thought I thought the cab was a little light colored. I was like, that doesn't look like a cab. And then also, like, I was like, when they poured the bottle out, I was like, oh, that's that bottle. That's that rosé bottle. Yeah, I'm on to you, props department. I see it. You did New Amsterdam vodka, I think. No, you did. What was the bottle? It was they're all spacey. You did Saint Germain in one of them. I saw the Saint Germain bottle, and I think you did New Amsterdam vodka. I'm watching. I'm paying attention. You can't get it past me. No, you can't. Does anyone love seeing Luna? I do. I love seeing Luna. I think it looks cool as she. I love how it looks like. It just got that moon base feel. Like, look at that. Look how cool that is, man. I love that. Little woo, 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 stuff going by, like little towers and spires with lights and the moon. Delivered delivered. I speculated on that when I covered the trailer. I thought maybe we'd see more Moon, and we did. Terrific. I like seeing Avasarala kind of getting bitched around by this woman. The what's her name? The UN chief, whatever, Nancy Gao. Oh wow, that's weird. The character's name is Nancy Gao, and the woman who plays her's name is Lily Gao. That's weird. Is that a coincidence? How many people read for that part? And the fact that they picked the one that shares the same last name? What are the odds of that? Maybe it's a common last name for whatever ethnicity she is. It still seems strange to me. Their casting department, I think they have great taste in women. I think they do. She is quite striking, quite pretty. And Avasarala is looking good too. I mean, for a woman of her age, Avasarala is hot. She's hot. I don't want to make it all about the attractiveness of the women, but hey, what am I supposed to do? They're attractive women. I'm not gonna not point it out. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You come here because you trust me, because I'm honest. I mean, I think that's why you come here. Actually, I don't know why you come here, but I'm glad you do. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's fun. It's cool. It's dope. Fred Johnson mocking Holden for just being so impulsive all the time. He's just like, that's really how you go through life, isn't it? That's so funny. Just like a coach, like a basketball coach, just like smacking a kid on the nose, like, stop it. Yes, Buzz Nacho. I know, me too. It's so great. Just annoyed. Just like, would you stop? Would you stop just like stepping on your dick for 5 seconds, please? I love that. And I love that he's like, I love that he's got good intentions, but that is like a flaw in and of itself, that he's just too noble, too out to save the world, it's just a pain in the ass. It's just like, that's really how you go through life, isn't it? It's fun. It's fun to see him get trashed for that. Jake D asks, who's replacing Ashford for you this season? I'm undecided. Missed that guy. Jake, no one can replace Ashford. No one can replace him. He's too indelible, too important of a character. Great journey. What a great journey that character went on. The way he starts, the way he comes on the ship and is so surly and so like hostile towards Drummer and kind of like threatening her command, and then by the end ends up sacrificing himself for Earth of all places. Nah, you can't replace that guy. You can't replace him. David Strathairn is his name, the actor. Nominated for an Oscar, I believe, for the movie Good Night and Good Luck. Is that right? Let me look that up before I spread it to all my viewers. David Strathairn, IMDb, American actor from San Francisco, nominated for 1 Oscar for Good Night and Good Luck. Best performance by an actor in a leading role. I was right. I was right. I remember that because that's when I used to give a shit about the Oscars. I certainly don't now. But he's a great actor and a great character, and he will be sorely missed. This is cool. This giant container ship, like mega storage structure. That is pretty cool, man. That's like Newark, New Jersey in space. That's a pretty inside reference. So if you've ever seen the seaport over in Newark, there's just an endless like sea of those containers that are never going anywhere. They just live there now because they're too expensive to ship them back. That's a really well-designed system. But yeah, it looks like that just in space, which is pretty cool. Like the idea they're using like trucking shipping containers in the future. Has anyone ever, like, honestly, guys, is anyone like disappointed with the visuals of this show? Like, it is just exactly what I want a show like this to look like. Just the right amount of panels, you know. But the thing is, they don't draw any attention to any of these things. They're not like, yeah, on my S Panel 5000, I could flip and flop and dip and dop. It's really interesting. Like, it's just part of the world that they live in. Like, no one in life is like, you know what's so great about my iPhone? I'm on an iPhone. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, that's the technology you use. You don't comment on it. You know, a lot of science fiction, like a lot of writing, they just want to like underline things that they think are really neat instead of just like putting it in the show without pointing it out. You know, they want to be like, just see what we did. Look how you love that, don't you? It's like, I would if you didn't underscore, highlight it and bold it. Yeah, I'd have loved it. Would have loved it. Speaking of loving it, how cool is this? They have this like weird, whatever that is. It's like because they're trying to save that girl from the container ship. And they have like this bubble that just descends down and creates like this atmosphere so they can try to save her. So cool. So cool. Yeah, maybe. I wonder, Jake. The effects were a little obvious this season. What do you mean obvious? Do you mean like they weren't as well done, or they were just it was sort of like, hey, look, it's an effect. Check out my effect. I thought like in the beginning, like the first thing that happened in season 1 or episode 1, when you see the rock going past the sun and it like breaks up, I was like, that looks a little fake. But I don't know. I don't have a problem with the effects. I think they look great. But I think a lot of it has to do with story immersion. You know, I think like if you're looking for the effects, you'll find holes in it. But I think if you're immersed in the story, then that's not the point. You know, it's like if you go to a play, you know, and the guy's got like, you know, he's like riding like a horse leg, you know, he's just got like you find that to look ridiculous. Oh, that's obviously not a horse. But if the story's immersive and like those things fade away. You don't notice them if you're into the story, I think. Just a theory. Jan Solo. I don't know what that means, and I will not be putting that on screen. I hope you are not being a mean troll, because this is a place of love for the Expanse, sir. The CG backgrounds, for example, were less real looking. I wonder, did you upgrade your TV recently, Jake? No, I will say you have watched them. You've watched the episodes. You're probably as up to date as anybody on it is right now. Yeah, you just noticed it more. That's interesting. I wonder if maybe you were hyper observing because like we don't know what this is going to be. But then again, maybe you're right. Maybe they aren't as good. I don't know. I like it. I like the look of this show. I think it's great. And I think it's supported by really excellent production design and costuming, so that you don't. If I guess it's all, to me, it all is seamless. It's all like the texture of this excellent show. And Hans YOLO, this is a television appreciation channel, okay, sir. And we try to do book spoilers here because that's rude. It's rude. And everybody here wants to appreciate the story, right? I'll tell you one of the worst book spoilers anyone's ever done to me. I still am pissed about this like 20 years later. Harry Potter 5 comes out. The day it comes out, one of my ex-girlfriend's stupid little friends runs up to me and goes, Sirius Black dies, before I read a page. That was one of the shittiest things anyone's ever done to me. Ruined my whole experience with that book. Couldn't enjoy it. Took me off Harry Potter for a while. I don't know what kind of human being she is, but 20 years later, I still don't forgive her. Still don't forgive her. Looks amazing. That Amazon money. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's positivity, Hans YOLO. I need to have that love for this show. And look, man, it does look good. It's well written. It's well executed. It's interesting. I mean, we should be so lucky. I mean, this would be great at any time in history, but right now in history to have this as good as it is, It's a real blessing, man. I wonder what that autographed baseball is on the table. I didn't notice that last time. But the gangster guy that Amos goes to see has got this like encased baseball. I bet it's really something interesting. I bet it's like some famous like Baltimore Orioles team or something like that. I bet it's something like that. Yeah, this guy's a huge baseball fan. There's all this old memorabilia on the wall. I didn't notice that last time. That's pretty cool. Ah, interesting details, man. Interesting production design details for, what I don't know if it's going to pay off, but it gives it character, right? I don't know if they're going to get into it, and the guy's going to be like, I've got a proposition. There's a baseball game coming up, and as you can see, I like baseball. Oh no, they're all Yankees stuff. It's all Yankees stuff. There's a picture of Babe Ruth back there. He's a Yankees fan in Baltimore? Okay, now this show is getting far-fetched. Epstein drives and living on the asteroids, I can accept. But Yankees fans living in Baltimore, that's bananas. Bananas. This guy's apartment's actually really interesting to look at. Like the more I'm looking at it, the more I like looking at the stuffs on the shelves. He's got like some big horn over there. I'm kind of like, what's going on with this guy? Like an art collector or something? He's got a motorcycle in his living room. That's pretty baller. Have a motorcycle in your living room? Be like, yeah, that's mine. It's the Bugatti. No big deal. No big deal. Got 4 of those. 2 in Milan. I travel. It's no big deal. I'm curious where this storyline goes between Amos and the gangster guy. Very curious. Very curious. Oh, he's got 2 bikes in his living room. Damn, and they're like classics, like an old Norton or something.
That is cool. That is cool. I like that.
I like when people get to fold their taste into stuff, and it's not part of it, or like references to other things. Like I've got a TV show that I'm writing, and I've got 2 characters in it, and I name them after like directors that I really like. And I love reading their character names. Like I get a kick out of it every time. And it's just cool. Like, and I love when people do stuff like that. Like they just kind of fold in little things that they love to enrich it. I think it's great. Rossi crew. Can't wait for Bobbie to join the Rossi. Yeah, dude, I was talking about that before. I don't know what's going to go on with her this season. She's got the Goliath power armor. I don't know if you noticed that. And like a room, like an arsenal now, like a room full of munitions and military weapons. I was saying that's probably I would imagine that's going to pay off at the end of this season. And I can't wait for that. That's going to be fucking cool. And there's like those stealth nuclear weapons are missing and stuff like that. It's going to be pretty interesting, I think. I think we're going to have a good season on our hand. We got 3 good episodes already. A third of it's great. I am so happy with what we've gotten. So happy. Oh. I think I was like off on my back foot a little bit for maybe like, I don't know, like the first like 5 to 10 minutes. I wasn't sure if I if I liked it or not. I was anxious. It wasn't going to be good. But like once I felt like it was good, once I realized it was good and I just dropped into it. Oh man. I like really savored it. I like paused it. Just absorbed what I was watching, like really made a night of it. It was so great. Like I was saying, I haven't enjoyed watching something like this in a really long time. And I'm so glad. So glad. So I feel like putting on so much stuff, like it's almost like a chore. You know what I mean? Like I'm putting it on, and I'm like trying to watch it, and my body's just like resisting it. Like it just doesn't want me to, like I'm like restless, and I just can't watch it. Not with this show. Not with The Expanse, baby. She belongs there. This season will be amazing. I agree, Hansiolo. I agree. I have high hopes. I mean, I had high hopes anyway. Now I feel like they're going to be matched, which, who knows? You never know. You never know with modern entertainment, especially an IP that's lived for a while. There's lots of ways they can fuck it up. And I don't know. Looking good. Looking really good. Something that's throwing me off. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. But they changed the font of the subtitles. I just really want to understand what the inner office workings of that choice was. Did they have a meeting about that? Did that come up? Were there like numerous complaints? Be like, I hate the font of the subtitles. You gotta change it. What kind of an operation are you guys running there at Amazon? It's just like, why would that ever change? Like, why wouldn't that be you pick a font and then you never go, but like why would you adjust it? Is that a mistake? Were they like, oh shit, it was this font all along. Hopefully no one will notice. It just seems like such a strange thing to happen. I don't know. I know it's like not worth talking about, but I just like every time I see it, I'm like, oh, that's jarring. That's different. Like, why is it different? I'll move on. It's not that interesting of a topic. Avasala is working her magic on what's this guy's name? I don't have the X-ray anymore. Dang it, I forgot. Working on the UN general, which I love. I love her little meddling. Oh yeah, doesn't the third episode that we got, doesn't that end with a meteor crashing into Earth? That's a pretty crazy ending, man. Some high stakes shit right there. Because we've already had an atomic bomb land in the Amazon. Now we got a meteor hitting Earth. Like Marco has scored a successful hit 3 episodes in. Dang, son. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched the next episode. I guess it's not a spoiler alert. Retroactive spoiler alert. I thought that was pretty high stakes, pretty gangster. And now we're getting a little bit of Amos's backstory again from when he was a wee lad. I'm wondering if he killed somebody. I feel like he did. Because I feel like she was telling him like something about like it's not your fault or you reacted or something like that, and he like gave her a gun. Like I feel like Amos killed someone when he was a kid. I'm not sure. Rip Fish Finder 5000 guy, yeah. Just standing on the edge of the beach and oh no, I'm gonna be vaporized right now. That's unfortunate. At least if something like that happens, you have so little time to react to it that it's over and done before you really have to process it. You're just like, what is all that noise? Oh, is that a 50-foot wave? And then you're dead. Yeah, I like that they're not fucking around. And it didn't feel gratuitous. It didn't feel like, hey, in this season, it's on in the Expanse. We're blowing shit up, things happening. It just felt like the natural escalation. I really feel like so far this season is superior to season 4. I liked season 4, kinda, but it was probably my least favorite one. This one seems much better. I don't know what you're saying, Hansiolo. I don't want to put that. I don't know what you're getting at there. You're saying when he was a wee baby. Yeah, probably. He's no joke, man. I wonder what happened, when he was like when he was a kid, all the way through, like when he was a gangster, like when he was like a mob boss or something. Whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, right. Yeah. Season 4 was just sort of, I don't know. It was unsatisfying. It was fine. It just wasn't, it didn't match the hype that like the way season 3 ended, which was just like, holy shit, we can go to the stars, we can go to the universe. And I don't know. It was fine. It just felt like, felt like a bit of a letdown comparatively, but still the best show on TV. Still the best show on TV, in my opinion. This is a great shot. Amos on like the waterfront and him walking away and like this big rocket going off in the distance. That's so cool. That is so cool. This show works. Soft dramatic music. Executive producer Naren Shankar. Executive producers Daniel Abraham and Ty Franek. I believe those are the writers. I believe Daniel Abraham and Ty Franek are the writers of the show. Ty Frank is the co-host of the show Ty and That Guy, the podcast that I guess they just started with him and Wes Chatham, who plays Amos, which I am interested to see. And that is going to do it, guys, for episode 2 of season 5 of the greatest show on TV ever, The Expanse. I thank you very much for joining me. Jake D, good to see you, buddy. Very happy that you could stop by. Everyone else who was watching along, Hans Yolo, you're new. Glad you're here. Buzz Nacho, thanks for the pickup on that guy's line. That was awesome. John G, and everyone who watched along and will watch in the future. I really appreciate you guys joining me. Have a wonderful evening. Press like if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. And check me out if you want to hear more thoughts and ideas and discussions about The Expanse, which I know you do because I love to. Saturday, 3 p.m. Pacific, me and Lord Thoth will be chopping it up, but I think with a special appearance by Jake D. So come see us then. It'll be really, really fun. Thanks, Hans Yolo. Thank you very much, sir. Glad to have you along. Buzz Nacho, I feel like the season 4, the weakest story of the bunch, but it still did told it amazingly as could. Cheers, man. Good stream. Thank you very much. And thank you to all. And I'll see you guys soon. Have a wonderful evening.